He didn't know he was addicted. There were no needles, no pills, no smoke, just a phone, just a scroll, just a loop. Started with curiosity, then convenience, then compulsion. He woke up with it, slept beside it, ate with it, escaped into it. Every ping was a promise. Every swipe was a hit. Every reel was a rush. He wasn't chasing joy. He was chasing dopamine. And dopamine doesn't care about meaning. Cares about novelty, about stimulation, about more. More likes, more views, more sugar, more noise. He didn't feel alive. He felt activated. But activation isn't awareness. It's just electricity. His brain was buzzing, but his soul was silent. He couldn't sit still, couldn't focus, couldn't feel, because feeling requires stillness, and stillness was unbearable. So he scrolled, and scrolled, and scrolled, until his attention shattered, until his memory faded, until his identity blurred. He wasn't lazy. He was overstimulated. He wasn't broken. He was hijacked. Hijacked by dopamine. Hijacked by design. Hijacked by algorithms that knew his cravings better than he did. He tried to quit, but quitting felt like withdrawal, like silence, like boredom. And boredom felt like death, because his brain had been rewired. Rewired to crave chaos, to reject calm, to fear quiet. He didn't know how to be, only how to consume. He consumed content, consumed sugar, consumed noise. But the more he consumed, the emptier he felt. Because consumption without creation is decay. And he was decaying, not visibly, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, internally. His thoughts were fragmented, his emotions dulled, his relationships hollow. He couldn't connect, couldn't care, couldn't cry, because crying requires depth, and depth requires silence, and silence had become unbearable. So he escaped, again, and again, and again, until escape became identity, until addiction became normal, until numbness became baseline. But one day he paused, not because he wanted to, but because he had to. His body was tired. His mind was fogged. His soul was whispering, whispering through the noise, through the reels, through the dopamine. It said, return, return to breath, to boredom, to being. So he did, slowly, painfully, deliberately. He turned off the phone, sat in silence, felt the discomfort. It was unbearable. Then it was tolerable. Then it was sacred. Because sacred things are quiet, and quiet things are healing. He learned to sit, to breathe, to feel. He learned that boredom isn't emptiness. It's space. Space for thought. Space for truth. Space for self. He learned that dopamine isn't evil. It's just misunderstood. It's a messenger, not a master. And he stopped chasing it. Started listening instead. Listening to silence, to structure, to stillness. He built rituals, not for productivity, but for presence. Wake early, move slowly, write honestly, eat consciously, scroll intentionally. He didn't detox. He redesigned his environment, his habits, his identity. He became someone who could sit, who could wait, who could feel. And feeling, he learned, is the highest form of clarity. He no longer needed stimulation. He needed alignment. No longer needed escape. He needed embodiment. No longer needed dopamine. He needed discipline. And discipline, he learned, is not punishment. It's practice, not control, but rhythm, not restriction, but return. He returned to breath, to body, to being, again and again, especially when it was hard, especially when it was boring, especially when it was silent. Because silence is sacred. And sacred things heal.